conversation that occurred that you heard?
We were directly in front of Cindy and George, and immediately when they walked in, they started talking about George, how he had spoke to one of the attorneys. And he said something to the effect of, "You seem to be happy to George." And George says, "What gives you that impression?" And Cindy went on to talk about, "Honey, they're always going to make comments about expressions, whether we smile, whether we're mad, they're always going to say something." And the next thing was when Haley walked in. Casey actually walked in, and we were just shocked at the way, the first thing Cindy says to George is, "Oh my gosh, there she looks so beautiful. Look at her hair, look at her hair." And George said, "Yeah, it looks like it got longer, but just so, loving and not any tension at all from what we anticipated seeing or hearing."
And that dovetails with exactly what I heard from one of the other members of the public who was there sitting next to Cindy and George. They said, "Oh, she looks so cute," and commented on her hair.
Fascinating to hear all of that. I want to go now to Aphrodite Jones. Aphrodite, host of True Crime Investigation, Discovery, best-selling crime author as well. Aphrodite, great to have you back. You've been in that courtroom nonstop. Just give us your take on what our producers, Tracy and Ebony, were talking about.
Her day got screwed up. She ain't getting out today.
From George and Cindy.
Well,
Excuse me,
Casey Anthony came into that courtroom today prior to Judge Perry taking the bench. She had a Cheshire grin at one point. She was concerned with her hairdo. She had the flowing long hair. She didn't have any more schoolmarm look about her. There was nothing stern in her face. And she sat there like a little princess.
Are you getting this?
And I want to tell you, for me, it was sickening. Sickening. To see that girl about to gloat over the fact that she's going to walk out of that court. And then, when Judge Perry took the stand and the prosecution was making their argument about her having these sentences concurrent as opposed to, consecutive as opposed to concurrent, she suddenly got all serious again, and no more gloating and no more smiling. And by the way, so was Jose Baez and Katie Mason. They were smiling before the judge today. They were doing that Cheshire smile, like, we won, and the heck with everybody. It was just disgusting.
And that demeanor, you're so right, that demeanor changed. It was more that stone-faced Casey by the end of the proceedings today that we were used to seeing in court, sans the long hair that we saw today. How about George and Cindy? Again, Ebony and Tracy kind of letting us in on this. There's lots of tension that you might think, and obviously of the two, Cindy sounding a lot more forgiving and excited to see Casey, sounded like.
Cindy is her mom, and that's only natural that she's going to be happy that her daughter's finally out of, prison, jail, whatever you want to call it, for after 3 years, and has, I'm sure has mixed emotions. But however, the fact of the matter is, mothers are going to be mothers, and they're happy to see their child looking healthy, looking happy, and in this case, having been exonerated. So you can't fault them for that. I mean, what are they supposed to do?
Right.
Well, what do we expect from George and Cindy Anthony, really?
Yeah, bittersweet, I'm sure. Hey, what do you make? My contention is I think Lee Anthony is going to be your intermediary, your mediator at some point if there's any family reconciliation. Your thoughts on that, Aphrodite?
I'll tell you what. Here's the problem. Casey Anthony is now considering herself a rock star. She's had Kim Kardashian tweeting about her. She's got the world talking about her. She's got one of the biggest names in the business representing her and Jose Baez. You think it was
sure you're getting this equals 3?
Jose Baez
you're getting this to some good stuff. Equals 3.
No.
I'm talking to you. Equals 3. From evodubs.
Casey Anthony is going to play her cards, and I think Jose Baez is going to hold her up somewhere, maybe even move her to L.A., God only knows, or New York.
She got Kim Kardashian tweeting on her.
She doesn't care about them anymore.
Unreal.
I believe it.
You could be right on the money with that one. Jose Baez, I was reading a quote from him saying that this defense team is very close and they're going to help Casey Anthony with that first step. You could be right here, Aphrodite, as we move forward. And again, we saw the demeanor today from Casey Anthony. We wonder where does she go? But what kind of people? And I know we're speculating somewhat.
They're signed with the William Morris Agency. Do you understand?
Who's going to be around her?
They signed themselves with the William Morris Agency. The William Morris Endeavor Agency signed Jose Baez with Casey Anthony in a package deal. They're the most powerful agency in New York. They're going to go around and shop her movies, shop her books, shop her life rights, shop her reality show that she's already said she wants. Okay?
Wow.
And
Where
everybody,
is she
unfortunately,
getting this?
is going to watch this stuff. Why? Because she is a train wreck, okay? It's like when you go by a car accident. Okay, Mike? You go by a car accident, you don't want to look, but you can't help yourself.
You think people are going to buy?
You can't help yourself.
Aphrodite, as upset as people are that she's walking out in 6 days, you really think that they're going to, if they know a dime's going in her pocket, you think people are buying the book?
Unfortunately, yes. Especially, remember, she could actually admit anything she wants. Not that she will, because she's a liar, but she could.
Just so you know, it goes big. I got a video of me kissing a dog. I was trying to make a point.
Like, if I did it like O.J. Simpson, she could even do that. I mean, this woman is in a
today.
That is unprecedented. Unprecedented.
Well,
and remember, they love to look at her.
At least that book was a flop.
Well, that book was a flop, but to get inside her mind, okay, everybody wants to know, how did this woman pull this off? Because guess what? It wasn't her attorney that pulled it off. It was Casey.
That's
with her lies and her deceit and her faces that she made across the room in the courtroom. That was all Casey Anthony pulling off her show. And we got to see the other side of it today, didn't we? No more school alarms.
We certainly did, at least at the beginning, until she knew she was going back to the clink for 6 more days. That's a huge question, obviously. We want to get into her mind. The other question is to get into the jurors' minds, how they came to the conclusion they came to, right? And everybody's speculating on that. We're hearing from the jurors. Juror number 3 talking. Juror number 2 giving out an interview, not giving out the name yet. Let's listen to what juror number 3 had to say and how they came to their final decision.
I'm not sure what I needed exactly. They had strong circumstantial evidence. They just needed something solid to just say it absolutely was not an accident. Just to kind of tie it all together and not leave the dots for us to kind of, or me to kind of connect with speculation and accusations and guessing. Like we're instructed not to do that. So for us to connect the dots with, question marks, it didn't feel justifiable to do that.